got to or considering God, it could be a little part of it. It could be one accident episode, and I need y'all to watch it. I can't get too much up about it, but we need to watch it. The first topic is mental health. I'm not asking you to alone. I did, but it could be over top of my head. So I'm gonna start with you guys.
Mental health. Mental health is plays a huge part in how one goes about their day, how one grows up, how one teaches their children, or just goes about life. My mental health, um, lately a lot has happened within my life. So,
Okay. So me and you are friends, and me and you talk a lot. And what I want to ask you, you mentioned how I was, so what I want to ask you. So tell them about what happened to you and what happened to your brother.
okay, so I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna take it back a little bit. So I am, as y'all know, 35, and my mother had passed 10 years ago. My father had passed 10 months ago. And
can your mom passed? You got good months ago or 10 years ago?
10 years. My mother passed 10 years.
Can your mom passed 10 years ago and your father passed 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then about a few months after my father had passed, my brother had committed suicide.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, why did you commit suicide? No signs.
There was no signs, absolutely no signs. That day, it was a Sunday. My sister had went to go get her nails done. We were all there at the house. He was sitting in the living room with his son and my brother. He, like every other relationship, there's arguments, but it was nothing serious. And then my sister had went to have dinner at my grandmother's house, and everything had seemed fine. Me and my boyfriend had went to go to the mall, but it was freezing cold, and we had turned back around because at the time my car was disabled and it wasn't able to start, so we had taken the bus, and it was freezing fucking cold. We had turned around and was smoking an L to the bus stop, turned around, walked back home, and called for him, and my brother had said he was going to take a nap, and I went downstairs, I dozed off, and my boyfriend was like, let's order food and call Rocco again to smoke. Let's order food. And I just kept falling asleep. I just was tired. I wanted to go to sleep. He's just sleeping. He's taking a nap. He works overnights. He's tired. He comes home. He takes care of his kid, who's 2 at the time. And my brother comes running down about 45 minutes after I had fallen asleep, and had told me that he had seen him in a location of the house in which was odd. And so I had went up and I had found him, seen him, and assisted on getting him out of the situation.
Okay, so, thanks for cutting Um, so,
Or you expect your parents to go before you.
mm,
You don't expect your 31-year-old brother to. So
oh,
it hits different. And someone, your parents, you move out away from, like, you, this is someone that I spent just about along every days with. Like, yeah.
mm,
So it's changed who I am. Um, at times I'm still, not at
I
times.
can, man.
I'm still numb to the situation. I don't feel like I fully grieved it because I was there and I tried to do what I could to save him, and I just wanted to be. There's days where I like want him to be in a situation I'm in just to talk, and it's not that situation.
I can, man. I'm gonna I put in now, Al.
Mm.
Do you have any cooking? I got to cook one.
So I'll be honest with you. Any loss is crazy.
Mm.
Any loss is crazy. That shit's a hard pill to swallow when you right there. I'll be honest with you. I've been right there like 3 times. Like I'm talking about like, and this ain't from um, a self infliction, but like just losing somebody in that moment and being able to say you was there at the last moment is hard as hell. I can say I've done it 3 times now. The last time, like I said, if we talk about mental health, that shit really can affect a person's mental
Mm-hmm.
health in any situation. Losing somebody at any time is a bad joint. It don't matter if it was 20 years ago
Yeah.
or 20 minutes ago. It's a hard pill to swallow every time. I just got finished saying me losing my best friend like a week ago is it's almost like
What go back for now?
Dominic. This is my guy. Yeah,
On it.
20. I'm talking about 23 years is half my life. For me to
Okay.
know somebody for half my life, and then gone is a. And then you got people out here that know people for all their life, and it's almost like that shit's even worse. Like, and then there's people out there. It's almost like, yeah, I talk to this person, I talk to that person, but you always got that one person where be like, yo, like, I need to call you right now, and I can't call you at all. Yeah, it's a lot of shit that you start thinking about. That's where mental
Mm-hmm.
health coming into it, because it's almost like all them little things, denial, hesitation, all that comes in effect when you lose somebody. So it's
Oh yeah.
almost like every type of mental health goes past somebody's brain when you like loss is the worst thing for anybody. And I like I said, you're right. I couldn't imagine if it was blood, but this person being like almost like a limb. I don't know, man. That shit, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that shit killing me right now. Like I ain't like even hearing about loss, kind of like because everybody has loss. So when you hear about it, it's almost like, damn. I tried to like,
Got what I mean. Okay. I'm a bad person. Go for me. Anybody who knows me know I, I, I like cooking. I like mad cooking. I all about cooking and very beautiful. So why am I cooking? Human fighting addiction. Um, and people doing good. People doing so good. Come back before get back on Christmas time. People out. People are good. All these toys and everything. And you supposed to be making my mom dinner. So, so what happened was, somebody called my sister. We don't know who. So I called, and we could get on the camera. I wish I knew what doing. Cause where she got and so he went and um he went and he got what he needed and he did it and he went to sleep and he never woke up. As you know me, you know, he was my he was my aunt. I talking about I don't order politics, I don't order. But that was because we grew up together. We always grew up apart. Uh, I didn't know nobody else but her. Um, and she, I she was more, more the quiet one, more legally I had a book. And, she wasn't like me, I'm out there, I'm loud. I'm out. She wasn't like that. And when I got my phone, she was wanting the producer for the show. Um, and everybody ever. I was laughing because I don't want to cry. So,
If you ain't laughing, you crying, right? In talks
yeah.
like these.
Yeah, we got good conversation and I love
It's heavy, very heavy.
and and I can see the people in here right now. And I a bad time over it. But I feel like we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
It's
maybe,
spreading awareness to mental health.
yeah, and maybe I can help somebody. But I talk about this, and you know, because if people get out there, if people get out there who get an eye, who who disabled people in over, and because people don't know what to do with them.
Hmm.
And I just feel like, I just feel like this needs somebody who get an eye, who fight get an eye, could be like, I don't think that much could be like to somebody, um,
It'd be nice to just people. I feel like if there was just more genuine niceness, not to just those that are suffering
yeah,
or may have issues, just being nice in general is it can make a huge difference. Being able to talk to someone, uh, a, a simple gesture can alter somebody's whole thought process,
mm.
and you would never know because that one person may be that one person that isn't able to speak up and tell you that they're not
Oh,
feeling good. That one person could be that person that smiles in your face every day and you would never know, but just a simple phone call or gesture
yeah,
keeps them that day.
yeah. So, I believe to move on to the next topic.
Mhm.
The next topic is situations. we talk about the actually
Mhm.
and we made a little fun of it. But by me being the only disabled one I disabled one now, let me make fun of it. Look at what I do. But I believe that I need people to understand that we are people too. And I need people to understand we come in different colors, we come in different shapes, we come in different ways. So, for me, what I tell people I tell people do. Very minimal. So, one of my different female fighting addiction. Um, and she was really good, she was really so good, come back before she passed away, it was Christmas time. She was out, people had created all these toys and everything, and she wrote for everything. And she realized, and she came to see my mom, and my mom was out, and she was supposed to be making my mom dinner. So, when afterwards, somebody called my sister. We all in the room. So I called, and we could see on the table. She got everything she was doing. Because where she got at, and so we went and, um, we went and, she got what she needed, and she did it, and she went to sleep, and she never woke up. As you know me, you know, she was my, she was my, I love, talking about I love all my politics, I love all of them. But that was because we grew up together, and we always grew up apart. I didn't know nobody else but her. And she, she was more the quiet one, more easily allowed, but, and, she wasn't like me, I'm out there, I'm loud, I'm out. She wasn't like that, and when I got my phone, she was one of the producer on the film. And everybody was, I'm laughing because I know what I cried. So,
If you ain't laughing, you're crying, right?
yeah,
And talks
yeah.
like these.
Yeah, but I get this conversation and everyone
It's heavy, very heavy.
and and I could see the people in here right now. And like a bad guy over right now. But I feel like we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
maybe,
Spreading awareness to mental health.
yeah, and maybe I can help somebody, but I can, you know, because if people get out there, if people get out there who get who disabled people in over, because people don't know what to do with them. And I feel I feel like these people who can fight the could be like, I don't get much could be like, could come on,
It'd be nice to just people. I feel like if there was just more genuine niceness, not to just those that are suffering or may have issues, just being nice in general it can make a huge difference. Being able to talk to someone, a simple gesture can alter somebody's whole thought process, and you would never know, because that one person may be that one person that isn't able to speak up and tell you that they're not feeling good. That one person can be that person that smiles in your face every day and you would never know, but just a simple phone call or gesture keeps them that day.
Yeah. So, I believe the moon couldn't knock out it. Because knock out it is kick the wind. And we talk about the last one and we made I didn't find of it. But by me being the only disabled one I could claim was now, we made fun of it. We're going to go what I do. But I believe that I need people to understand that we are people too. And I need people to understand we come in different colors, we come in different shapes, we come in different ways. So, and for me, what I tell people I tell people do, I don't want, because when you hear me and when you see me, I just don't want people to think I make more, what can we say,
No idea.
not make well, I'm fucking, I'm a kid. Make them look like they can. I need
Mentally challenged, is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, make them
Gotcha.
challenge. So I don't want people to realize, by me being a disability, God don't mean that it's not wrong with my brother. It's nothing wrong with my brother. Matter of fact, I like to cook my own wood. I will cook my own in the room. So, it's a truth. I will cook my own in the room. But being though I talk like this, you don't know that. You really know that. Because people put me in a box. I see this box with this, people put me in a box. And that was why they put me with the mental kind of people. I'm not wrong with them, because God is everyone. But that's not my food. And I don't want I can say what I don't wrong with them. I'm not. I don't want people to, I don't want people to understand that people are people. Yeah, I don't want them to understand that, because I can go understand that,
Mm-hmm.
um, if I don't understand something,
Yeah, I do myself actually. There's been a few times I've been absent on the podcast. It's never been a thought in my head that I may be too good to be on the podcast on this quote unquote disabled podcast. In which this is not a disabled podcast, y'all. Y'all are crazy in the comments out there.
So, the common command. Why do you feel that?
Why do I feel as if I'm?
The common command.
Oh, how do I feel about it?
No, the common command.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from?
There was a comment made about me feeling too good. Yeah, like I was too good to be in it because I had maybe absent and Moo had been taking my spot, or me and her had not been getting along, so to speak. Mind you, I love Moo, y'all. She was supposed to be here. Fuck you, Moo.
But I need to understand. We don't get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot get paid for it. And we have 3 people like, or 4 people like, and we have kids, and people like that. So if you don't see what I said, I get other people
Blue will always be here, y'all.
in myself. But the good people are here again. I know, but I mean, y'all can give a little thing.
It's Blue and friends because we ain't all gonna be here all the time. It's not Blue, Elbow Grease, and Jordy. And Moo. You know, it's Blue and friends. We're gonna have more interactions. Like it's not just, you know. I don't know.
But I people put like that.
Yeah.
Put that
because of the banner.
That friend.
Right.
Moving like that. But that good as friends. So when you can only write that on the friend.
I got you.
So when you're not here, they'll be like, hey, I wouldn't know what I would cut.
Listen, when I had that's another thing I'd like to clarify. When I had came on to, or was brought onto the network here from Blue and everyone, just welcomed. I was welcomed. It was never about a white thing. It was never about me being the first white boy on the show.
I believe you can own it. Own it. And you are.
Right, I am, but it can be betrayed as ignorant, and I don't. You know.
No. Well, I can. People keep saying you can vote. Well, I can own it.
Yeah, I know. It's
but we know.
Right. It was more. Right. Oh, I understand that. It's. I am the first motherfucking YT boy on this bitch, and that's why I'm Jordy YT boy, y'all. Right, I do, but it's I don't want it to come off as ignorant and rude. You know what I mean? And it will to some, but that's not my. It's not. I didn't join to be the first white boy. Right.
I'm supposed to disabled. I'm the only thing able to but I own it. If people don't like it, then that's your problem.
Right.
Because
Right.
you know who you are.
Right.
You know not with it because you can post like what you
Right.
know. Because if people say that, they could call.
Right. No, and I understand that social media nowadays is rough, and on that factors into mental health, bullying, and social media. Social media plays a huge.
My kitchen, all my kitchen is very beautiful. So one of my kitchen, she was fighting addiction. And she was really good. She was really so good. Connect before you paper was Christmas time. She was out. She was a kid. All these toys and everything. And she wrote for everything. And she moved away. And she came to see my mom. And my mama and and she was supposed to be making my mom gaming. So when afterwards, somebody called my sister. We only lose. Somebody called, and we could get on the table. She got everything we were doing. Could go where she got it. And so we went and we went and she got what she needed and she did it and she went to sleep and never woke up. As you know me, you know, she was my she was my aunt. And talking to I don't want my politics, I don't want him. But that was because we grew up together, and we always grew it apart. And I didn't know nobody else but her. And she, and she was more quiet, more legally adequate. And she wasn't like me, I'm out there, I'm out. I'm out. She wasn't like that. And when I got my phone, she was one of the producers for the film. And everybody ever. I'm laughing because I know what time.
If you ain't laughing, you're crying, right? And talks like these. It's heavy, very heavy.
And I could see the people in here like you. A bad guy over there. But I feel like we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe
spreading awareness to mental health.
Yeah, and maybe I can help somebody, but I talk about this, and you know, because people get out there, and people get out there who get out, who disabled people in over. and we got people that know what to do with them. And I do I people I can think of who fight the could be like I don't get that much could be like cook about
It'd be nice to just people. I feel like if there was just more genuine niceness, not to just those that are suffering or may have issues, just being nice in general it can make a huge difference. Being able to talk to someone, a simple gesture can alter somebody's whole thought process, and you would never know, because that one person may be that one person that isn't able to speak up and tell you that they're not feeling good. That one person could be that person that smiles in your face every day, and you would never know. But just a simple phone call or gesture keeps them that day.
Yeah. So I believe the moon was clean that out. Because that was kick the wind. And we talked about the last one, and we made, I didn't find out it, but by me being the only disabled one at the table was now, then we made fun of it. Look at that what I do. But I believe that I need people to understand that we are people too. And I need people to understand we come in different colors, we come in different shapes, we come in different ways. So, and for me, what I tell people I tell people do, I know what, because when you hear me and when you see me, I just know what people can think. I make no, we can't say it all,
No idea.
not mental, well, I'm fucking, I'm a kid. Mental retardation.
Mentally challenged, is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, mental
Gotcha.
challenge. So I don't want people to realize, by me being disability, that don't mean that it's not wrong with my mother. It's nothing wrong with my mother. Matter of fact, I like to cook my own food. I'm looking for one in the room. So, it's a truth. I'm controlling in the room. But being though I talk like this, you ain't gonna know that. You ain't know that. Because people put me in a box. I can get what it is. People put me in a box. And the only man who put me with the mental kind people. Ain't nothing wrong with them, because God ain't anyone. But they're not my food. And I don't anybody at the table ain't got wrong with them. I'm not. And I just want people to understand that. I just want people to understand that people are people. And I just want not to understand that, I think I understand that and,
Mm-hmm.
and, um, and not
Yeah, I do myself actually. There's been a few times I've been absent on the podcast. It's never been a thought in my head that I may be too good to be on the podcast on this quote unquote disabled podcast. In which this is not a disabled podcast, y'all. Y'all are crazy in the comments out there.
So, the common, why do you feel that?
Why do I feel as if I'm?
The common,
Oh, how do I feel about it?
you know, why the common community?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from?
There was a comment made, about me feeling too good. Yeah, like I was too good to be in it because I had maybe absent and Moo had been taking my spot, or me and her had not been getting along, so to speak. Mind you, I love Moo, y'all. She was supposed to be here. Fuck you, Moo.
But I need to understand. We don't get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot get paid for it. And we have 3 different lives, or 4 different lives. And it's like this. And people like God. So if you don't see why I said, I hear other people
Blue will always be here, y'all.
and myself. But the people are okay. I know, but I realize that them are okay.
It's Blue and friends because we ain't all gonna be here all the time. It's not Blue, Elbow Grease, and Jordy. And Moo. You know, it's Blue and friends. We're gonna have more interactions. Like it's not just, you know. I don't know.
But I put people like that.
Yeah.
Put that
Because of the banner.
That I put.
Right.
Yeah. Movie like that. So, that good I put. So when you can only like that or compare.
I got you.
So when you're not in, you're right. I wouldn't go or I would cut.
Listen, when I had that's another thing I'd like to clarify.
I would good guy. I would be back next week. Bye.
Ow.
My name is
Jordy YT Boy, and this over here is my boyfriend Shawn. Everyone's been asking and curious on whether I would show him or he'd be featured on any of the shows in the network, and here he is.
So there could be a little more about him and for the to learn about him. Please help me make him a comment. Good night. So, there you go.
All right, so I met Shawn about 5 years ago. We're gonna talk about a little bit about us and him, so y'all can get to know, since he's a big part of my life. We met about 5 years ago. We spoke for about 10 months, 6 months before we actually met. But 10 months before I introduced him to my family and actually like brought him into my home, like more on a living situation. There's been ups and downs, as there is in every relationship. But there's love. There's our ups and downs stem from what we've all been through, and that is a huge part of what makes everyone whom they are.
Okay.
And yeah, so I would leave it up to Shawn to talk about himself a little bit. Introduce himself.
Yeah, my name's Shawn. I'm 37 years old. I'm from New Jersey. I was born in Woodbury. I got married at a very young age. I was like 15 when I got married. I have 5 biological children. Yeah, and
His growing up, his life's been. He grew up in hardships, and he always had to portray himself as a straight man. And he grew up. He's was married to a woman and had 5 kids
Okay.
in the relationship.
Okay.
And I've met everyone. They're very accepting of him. He's been separated from his wife. It was toxic. It was a toxic relationship.
separated 17 years, more than that, probably almost 20 years. Been separated. I got married when I was 15, 16.
Yeah.
But I was leaving one disaster for another. I had to get away from my family because there's a lot of abuse, a lot of mental health issues in my family. My dad was schizophrenic. My mom was an alcoholic and a drug addict. There was a lot of abuse going on in our house, sexual abuse. So growing up, I always felt like the oddball out already. Like there was something wrong with me, and I had to pretend to be something I wasn't at from the jump. I knew like the shit my parents were doing wasn't supposed to be done, but you still have that craving to please your parents, to want to them to accept you and be proud of you. Even though these monstrous things are happening, I still wanted my dad to like be a dad. So I remember like back in the day, I would pretend like Dan Connor was my dad from the Full House, because kids would talk about shit at school like that happened at home, and I couldn't talk about the shit that happened in my house. So I would pretend episodes of not Full House, the Connors. I would be like, that's what happened at my house that night, and that became my norm. Just lying about my whole entire life and putting on this like portraying this normal image of what the straight white male from an upper class family is supposed to present. I was in Catholic schools. I went to church Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, but then I go home and me and my brothers are being sexually abused, and like drugs were introduced into our life at a very young age. I was 8 years old the first time I did heroin, or it was some type of opiate, but it's what started my whirlwind of opiate addiction. I don't ever remember a time off of opiates. Very vaguely, I remember like a year or two before the opiates were introduced, and I fell in love with them. And it sounds crazy, like you fall in love with a drug that destroys your life, but I was 8 years old at the time, and the abuse that was going on was too traumatic for my brain to understand at the moment. Because here's this man that's supposed to be my protector, and I'm craving his attention. So the things that he's doing to me is making me feel like, all right, and he's telling me like, you can't say nothing either because you'll get in trouble.
And this man you speak of is your father.
He's my biological father, yes. So my mother left an abusive childhood and married the first man she saw, and it just happened to be a man that was looking for a naive woman so he can hide being gay, because in the early 80s, you know, they were killing gays. They were hanging them, tying them in trucks, riding them off the road, and he comes from a high, extremely wealthy Irish family. So that wasn't accepted. His sister's the mayor. My grandfather was chief of police. All my other aunts and uncles are teachers or professors in high schools. My dad was a crackhead from Camden, and he was gay. So like none of that was accepted. So he was the one that taught this portray an image type of life. Like go to church 3 days a week, but like behind closed doors, I'm being told at church that like incest is a sin and this is a sin and this is a sin, but then I'm going home and I gotta do all this, so it makes me like.
Okay, so let me ask you, how many years was you on opium?
How many years have you used opiates?
Okay, so I used opiates from the age of 8, and then I got clean. The first time I got clean, decided to get clean off opiates is when a year before I met Jordan, my daughter said something to me that touched me. I was raising my kids by myself, and so I was probably about, at that time, 28 years old. and she said something along the lines of, "Can't you just die already? Because like you're embarrassing. Like I don't want you to pick me up from school. Like this or that." And I never thought my kids knew I was getting high, because I would get high in Kensington or Camden, throw the needles in the trash, get on the bus, drink 3 shots, and smoke a blunt.
How did that make you feel,
Oh, what my
coming
daughter
from your
said.
children?
That's what changed my life completely. That's what made the beginning of my thought process to stop being that privileged white boy that is owed something by the world. Because I didn't have a childhood, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. So I grew up in my early teens, early adulthood. The world owed me everything, and I was going to take it. I'll walk into a store and I'll take your money. I'll walk in and take it. If I want that jacket and I can't afford it, I'm taking it. Because I missed out on so much, so the world owed me something. So when my daughter said that, it made me realize, even though I wasn't putting my kids through what my dad put me through, there was the abuse wasn't there. They never saw me high, but I wasn't there. I wasn't mentally there. They were dealing nights with their crazy ass mom and her boyfriend, because I was out in Kensington getting high. I should have been there with my kids. So like that was my turning point right there. I never thought my daughter was embarrassed of me. She was my best friend. So her being embarrassed of me, that's what started this whole whirlwind of changing my life. And it's been like the past 6-7 years that this process has been going on, and I've been doing nothing but like lifting myself and rising up.
I know your story as to where viewers here and others wouldn't know as much about you as I do. How has all this tied into the way you've gone about parenting in your relationships, such as like your relationship with me? How has all your background?
I feel like at points I'm an advocate for like kids, because like I was never heard. I told multiple adults what was going on in my household. Multiple. I've told Dyfus. I was labeled as a storyteller because my aunt was the mayor. We were a pristine white family. You're not touching your kid.
Yeah.
There's no way that's happening in that house. That's the mayor's house. It's not happening. So me and my sisters were labeled as a storytellers by Dyfus. So I listen to kids. My kids, they were allowed to curse. As long as they weren't cursing at an adult, if you stub your toe, fuck, this, that, whatever, say what you say. Express yourself, fine. Adults seem to forget that, parents seem to forget that we're not supposed to make our child live a life we want them to live. We are here to help them, guide them to find what they want to be. That's going to make them excited and make them happy. What made us excited and made us happy, we can't force on our children. That's what our spark is. We can't lose sight of that, and that's what I feel like I'm an advocate for children, because even with you, I feel like we've co-parented a child for 5 years together. And I mean, sometimes to the point where it pisses you off, I'm an advocate for him, and I stick up for him because I wanna make sure he's seen, because he is a child that has experienced a lot more than most children, and I don't ever want us to forget that he's an individual.
Yeah.
And even though what he's saying is, yo, you're gonna respect me, I'm the adult, that's inappropriate. That's still an emotion and a feeling he's going through. Let him express himself without getting yelled at. Because then he feels like, damn, all I was doing was letting you know how I feel, and you shut me down.
Right.
So now he's learning to shut himself down for the rest of his life. He's
Right.
never going to listen to that gut feeling because you yelled at him when he did it. Not you personally towards
I got you.
child. But like, I never let my child feel shut down. I didn't bring the gay community in my household. I didn't tell my kids about me until my wife had already left. I was raising my kids by myself with my mother-in-law. We were going back and forth, and I finally sat my kids down to tell them, like, yo, listen, I'm a homosexual. But what goes on in my bedroom has absolutely nothing to do with you. I'm your father. You're gonna respect me. You're gonna listen to me.
I agree.
What happens in my bedroom, it don't got nothing. It shouldn't change our relationship, because I've never sexualized my children the way I was sexualized. I was said and told things that made me feel like that's all I was and I still deal with it to this day. I have insecurity issues, and I have attachment issues. I have separation anxiety like a motherfucker. If I get attached and I'm around somebody for 4, 5, 6, 7 days, when I have to leave and go home and that person's not going to be my everyday anymore, I panic.
Yeah.
And I shut down.
Yep.
And it's with the children, it's with him, it's with anything.
Yeah.
With the people I was living with prior when I had to move out because it wasn't a household that was good for me anymore. I still got separation anxiety from those people that I lived with because they were my everyday. I think being ripped around so much as a child and being put here, being put there, going to rehab and this and that, it does something to me when I lose somebody that's my norm.
I just what would you tell somebody who goes through what you went through? What would you tell them?
What would I tell somebody that went through what I went through?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the first thing I would tell them is I sympathize and understand. That's not saying that I know what you went through because your trauma is your trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna. When a child goes through something that hurts them, it's traumatic. It breaks their brain the same way, no matter what it is. If his grandpa died when he was 8 and my dad sexually abused me, that trauma is still trauma. When you're a child, you can't differentiate how high the trauma is or how low it is. It just affects your brain to the point where it doesn't process normal shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sympathize with that person and I would explain to them that I've come from such a dark place in my life from what happened to me as a child before the years before I met Jordan and after I left my wife. Even though I had my children in my life, they were some of the darkest years of my life because I didn't have nothing other than to go off of what my father was telling me my whole life. And then I go into a relationship with a woman because my Christian counselor tells me, you're not gay, you're just suffering from the trauma your father did. So I was like, oh shit, thank God I'm fucking normal. I'm not a faggot, like, excuse my French, but those are the words that I told myself because growing up with a gay dad who is a child molester, who was also a Boy Scout fucking leader, you think all gays are like that. So in my head, gays were drug addicts, they were crackheads, and they were child molesters. So that's why I didn't bring the gay community around my children because I wanted them to not.
Okay, that was the complaint before.
That's what?
That was the complaint before.
That's what I thought before.
Mm.
Yeah. Before I realized that this is me and this is. I would have been this way. I truly believe I would have been this way regardless of what my father did to me or not, if he did it or didn't do it, because I'm not attracted to the female body the way I am to the male body, and I don't. Some people will say it's because of what my dad did to me, and that's okay. That's what makes it okay for their brain to process what happened to me.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's their shit. My shit tells me now I'm comfortable enough to know that I've met a person that I've never. Growing up the way I grew up, going from my childhood abuse to the abuse with my wife, I was only with one more person before I was with Jordan. So the way I feel with him is the first real thing I've ever felt in my life. It was the first time I ever seen myself not being a drug addict and not living on the streets of Kensington and not dying at the age of 42. So it became toxic to a point where that was my whole life. But what you were saying is I that was before I was educated.
Yeah, because I need to make sure that the people watching and consider.
Yeah, when I was saying faggot and stuff like that, that was all my brain with the trauma from before I came out to my kids. All that was the old thinking. I'm not sitting around here saying like faggot this, faggot that, and anti-LGBT. That I'm pro-LGBT. I think it's a little too sexualized towards the children. That's my only view on it. I believe that it should be, this is the normal, but let's not talk about the sexual part about it and why they're gay and what they do, this and that. Make it normal to see two guys holding hands walking down the street. That's okay.
Yeah, my son's always, it's just,
it was his normal.
I've been his dad forever, so it's been his normal. So it's like he's not judgmental towards that. Like it's never been, oh my God, two men are holding hands, or
Okay.
two men are kissing. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, he's been highly involved with the whole family.
Okay, so let me ask you, because that's the time. So when you go to the, the was I get that with people.
So I was like never for a little while I was like in denial about it. I
Mm.
acted like I didn't know for the like the whole time. I would beat around the bush and
Oh, you're talking
um
about my relapse.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
and I just would beat around the bush. I would let him know that I knew without me fully saying like you're fucked up right now. Like I would wait until he got sober. Um to the point where I feel as if there's a low key guilt because it's like if I would have said something, maybe it would have stopped and it would have steered us into a different direction.
Right.
But in the same sense, it's I didn't lead you into that direction. Like yeah, my um what's the word I'm looking for? My actions
No.
may
No.
have driven him and his brain into doing things that maybe if
Not
I
at all.
didn't make mistakes doing, he would he wouldn't have made
It
them.
was simply the fact that I did not have.
He felt lonely.
I didn't have the proper tools to deal with adulthood.
Mm.
Being with Jordan was the first relationship I ever took serious. Even when I was with my wife, I knew she was a lot lizard. Sorry.
A lot was there.
She liked to have her fun and play around. So this relationship with him was all brand new. I have to be kind. I have to be gentle. I have to care about what I say. I have to tell him the truth because I want this to work because it feels real. This connection feels like electric. It feels like not so often thing.
Mm.
So why not fight for it? Why not put the work in towards it? Because a relationship isn't ever going to be just all rainbows and butterflies, and anything that's worth loving is worth fighting for, and you have to
Absolutely.
put the work into it sometimes. Neither one of us were in the right when we met each other. Maybe we didn't meet each other when we were in the right state of mind.
We
And
met each other on Facebook.
we did
dating,
Facebook dating,
yeah.
regular, not like the grinder thing. It wasn't
Okay.
It was never just a hookup. It was a chat and a chat and a chat for a
Oh
whole
my god, it took forever.
6 months before we actually had went on our first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you two questions.
Okay.
So the first question is, what would you tell the 8-year-old girl? That's the first question.
What would I tell my 8-year-old self as me right now?
Yeah.
First I would give me a hug, and I would let him know that nothing he's going through is permanent, that this is all gonna change so rapidly, and to just slow the fuck down, bro, and breathe, because it in like a year it's gonna go so fast you're gonna want it to slow down, and you're not gonna be able to make it slow down.
Okay. And what would you tell yourself in conclusion?
What would I tell future me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't go like get a job or go to school quicker so we were rich, but no, just kidding. What would I tell future me? I don't know. It's a good question.
Both are very.
I would just say good job, because wherever I am, I know I busted my ass to get there, and I know that it's got to be better than where I was. So just good fucking job, bro.
Well, I ain't gonna keep you for long, but it was good to get to know you, and the people want to see you on the show,
They were asking. There was a bunch of
Oh, I
comments.
saw a few of them.
Yeah, that
It's
were questioning whether or not you'd be featured on the show. So it was nice to introduce you to everyone.
so me asking you, what you be on a future go. I'll pick an epical.
So here's what I'll say. I will, like, you'll see me because I'm part of Jordan's life, so I'll be there. And if you guys are like, you need somebody to fill in, and I'm here and I'm sitting there, because we're a good vibe and we laugh and stuff. But this is Jordan's thing. This is for him.
I like that.
And this is his outlet. So I'm gonna just be there and support him, and I'm still gonna be there. I'll be sitting on that couch that you guys can't see, smoking a blunt and just chilling. But this is his outlet, and we went through a lot of shit the past year, a lot of stuff that has made us grow. I think substantially, very quickly.
Absolutely.
And this is his outlet, and I'm not going to take that from him because we don't need everything to be both of ours. We've grown and came to a place where it's okay to have separate lives.
And because I will let you do your job, and for me, yeah. Like I want to try with them. I'm a cry baby. But I want when I can, I can't remember at one point that the person who molested me, they were telling me, well, everybody never can say it anyway. But if you did call somebody, they're not going to know what you're saying. So that's why now I'm vocal about everything. I'm vocal about everything. Some people can call me mean,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I put like I had to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to take a minute on me or nobody to walk over me.
With that, I'll say the last thing I'll say before I go ahead. I've pretended for so long to be something different for other people's comfort. I am done living my life worrying about if you're comfortable what I'm doing. If you don't like what I'm doing, then step 6 feet that way.
Yep.
Like we still got COVID,
Like COVID.
because it's cool, bro. I got my 4 quarters. I don't need 100 pennies, and you can to the left.
Well, no,
I'm good. I think we've done well. I'm so happy that everyone's gotten to meet my mans. He will be featured in upcoming episodes. Yeah.
Hey, y'all, be nice to him.
I don't give a fuck. Don't be nice.
And y'all, I never went
listen.
nowhere. I was with family. I was with family, but we'll talk about that later.
I am the gay, fat, drug addicted sibling. You can't be mean to me.
Well, this was I will put the episode for y'all, but I can get to know him, and I know the end.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Later, y'all.
See you later.
Alright.